It's Dragon Source, sexiest man alive, alien slayer, demon slayer, superhero. And we're live on New Earth. Let's go. So, this video is about how to tell if someone is worth your energy or not. And if they are or are not, after you've made that decision, how do you proceed from there? How do you protect your energy? That's what this is really about. How do you protect your energy, your emotional state, your mental state, right? So first, we have to suss out who someone is. You have to suss out the bots, right? So how do we do this? Usually taking the direct route. You can't always do that, depending on your environment, maybe at work or at home with your family. Um, there's just sometimes you just don't go there with a certain individual, right? But that should already tell you something off the bat. If you can't go there with someone, if you can't fully be yourself and fully speak your mind, you already know. Like, basically, we're trying to find the limitation. We're trying to find someone's limits, their bandwidth, right? Because if you try to communicate with someone outside of their bandwidth of consciousness, you're just going to hit a firewall, a spiritual brick wall, where it's just going to cause a bunch of frustration. They can only comprehend to a certain point, right? So maybe it's a coworker or something, and you're just like, you're trying to figure out if you can have deeper conversations with this person or if they can really be a friend to you. So what you would do is, instead of being like, I think the global warming thing, I think that's an agenda, a scam, just so that, the shadow elite can take more of our power. Instead, what you would do is be like, hey, did you see the latest Aquaman movie? Yeah, it's really interesting how they put in the script that global warming was going to cause some doomsday disaster. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that? Right? See what they have to say. Let me give you another example. Instead of being like, I think there is a agenda to manipulate the food and drug and water supply in the Western world to control the hormones of the population to make them easier to control. Instead of saying that, what you could do is be like, I recently learned that toothpaste has a lot of toothpaste has fluoride in it, and that's actually bad for your pineal gland. What kind of toothpaste do you use, Jerry? Of course, the classic Jerry will be like, "Oh, I use Crest." But wow, these are some beautiful clouds. Look at that. Look at that. Anyway, let me give you another example. So instead of being like, um, instead of being like, I think that aliens are controlling this reality from behind the scenes, and forcing us to continuously be held captive on this planet against our will. Like, let's just say you think that. Instead of saying that, you'd be like, wow, look, did you see the news lately? They're coming out with flying saucer UFO things. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on aliens? See, just off the way they would answer all the questions that I have brought up, you would automatically know how far you could push this person's mind just off one question. Like, all right, I already know what bandwidth of consciousness this person is operating on. I know what I can say and their limitation where I can't go, right? So after you figured that out, you know who you're dealing with roughly. If they're a bot, right? They don't get it. If they're not awakened, woke, aware, conscious, whatever word you want to use, enlightened, Just don't even waste any more energy on them than you absolutely have to. Just make sure the relationship is just purely transactional, right? If it's a coworker or a family member or whatever, then you would just say, uh, you would just make sure that you only deal with them in as little as capacity as you possibly can, right? So it's like if they ask you how you're doing, yep, good. How are you? Great. All right. You wouldn't be like, well, I've noticed some interesting weather patterns lately, and noticed these strange clouds, and it could be UFOs. You wouldn't say that. You would just be like, good, yep, lovely weather. All right. Just be like, yep, just maybe it's a coworker. Yep, just go ahead and count the cash in the register and put it over there and have a good night. You wouldn't be like, oh man, how was work today? Man, I've noticed some really strange trends going on in the industry. Like, you see what I'm saying? Just don't even bother trying to awaken people who clearly are not going to get it no matter what you say. It's a waste of energy. Beautiful. On the Sundial Bridge at the Turtle Bay. So let's say that you can't tell. You're kind of on the fence. Like, maybe this person can get it. You know, they answered one of my questions right, the other one not so much, not knowing they're being tested by you, right? Taking that indirect angle. So what you have to do is get them outside of their current environment, because people got to wear a wear a face, an ego, right? In certain environments like work, for example, or any environment where it's not safe to be 100% your authentic self, right? So maybe you have to get them outside of that environment to see who they really are. Maybe offer to take them out for a coffee or something like that, or just go for a walk with them. See who they are in that environment where it's safer to be yourself, where they'll let their guard down a little bit more so you can really tell who they are. You can ask a little bit more deeper, more pressing questions. And then at that point, if you're already having a conversation like that, you might as well just go all the way. Plant your seed. All right, they're halfway there. See if they can get all the way there. Plant your seed. Speak your mind. Speak your truth. And tell them how you think it is. Tell them how you think reality is, right? And see if they can get there. See if they can get their mind to that level. And if they can't, then just let them go. You tried your best. You planted the seed. Maybe they'll get it eventually on their own, because awakening is an inside out thing. It has to come from within. You can't force anyone to wake up. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a waste of energy. Just stop trying. If they are resonating with what you're saying and it's like they're trying to get there but they're just not on that level yet, then that's not necessarily a waste of energy. That's just you being a teacher in that scenario. The important thing is, are they trying to get it? Are they trying to elevate their mind, or are they content with where it's currently stuck at? Like, that's what you got to look at, right? And most people, they just don't have the codes, the light codes, the DNA, whatever you want to call it, the bandwidth, frequency. Some people don't even have a spirit, so there's just no hope for them. Most people, there's just no hope for them. Clones, bot, NPC, whatever you want to call it. Just don't waste your energy. If they're partway there, they got a spirit. If they're like halfway there, maybe they can get it. They're trying to learn. It's not necessarily a waste of energy. It just depends. Like, do you think this person can eventually get there within a reasonable time frame for you? Like, that's the key question you have to ask yourself. If not, then just treat them as if they were a bot, more or less. Like, all right, I'm just going to deal with you transactionally because I still can't fully be myself around you. Maybe I'll show you a little more, but not everything, you know? So I guess just reflect to people wherever they're at. Just operate within, that's the key takeaway. When you're dealing with people, operate within their frequency band of consciousness. Because if you try to go outside of it, it's just going to cause problems. You're going to hit a firewall. You're going to waste your energy. You're going to be frustrated. Just not worth it. Just cut them out. as much as you possibly can. You know, maybe it's a family member or work or something, and you're dependent on them in some way, shape, or form, so you can't fully cut them out. But if possible, you know, maybe get a new job, maybe maybe move out of your parents' house if you are, hypothetically. You know, maybe maybe talk to your parents a little less if they're just putting you down and making you feel stupid for your beliefs, right? Like, why would you even want to listen to anyone who is just making you feel bad about yourself? You wouldn't, right? Right. So sometimes you have to cut people off to make space for new people to come into your life that are more in resonance with you and where you're trying to go in your path in life, right? So, wow, these clouds are beautiful. So we don't need to, you know, be a dick about it. Just like putting people down and making them feel stupid for where they're at. No, just leave them where you're at. Plant your seed. Speak your truth one time, one and done. If they get it, then rock with them. If they don't, then deal with them only transactionally. That's all I can say. All right. And then with that mentality, that spiritual ninja mentality, just okay, cut you out, move over here. See this bot with this projection coming at me? Just dodged all of it. Just dodged all the BS. All right. Cut you out. Okay, you're halfway there. All right, I'm going to plant the seed. You don't get it. Okay, I'm going to leave you over there, but still be kind to you. That's the mentality of the dragon, right? And eventually, just keep going. You will find like-minded people that resonate with you. You can't find it locally around you. You just do what the dragon did. Make you a YouTube channel or Instagram or wherever on social media and just start putting your truth out there. Eventually, you're going to manifest people that resonate with you. Maybe you can meet up in person, build your community, build your tribe, or find a tribe that is in resonance with you, etc. Right? I used to actually set up out here at the Turtle Bay. I had a business um, doing basically selling holistic healing. Right? So we have sage, Palo Santo, custom candles. What else? Crystal jewelry. We would hand wrap. Um, and we would do tarot card readings for people to basically just map out the energy surrounding them in their life so that we could offer guidance and solutions for them, right? So, I mean, just off that alone, I've had a lot of experience like listening to people's problems and then helping them transmute them. Basically alchemy, right? Just being solution minded, right? What I learned is you have to come to people within the bandwidth of their consciousness, right? If like a true genius can take an abstract concept that is just like super high level and then distill it down to the point where a 5-year-old can understand it, right? Because you can't expect a fish to fly, right? You wouldn't go into a kindergarten classroom and try teaching calculus. You wouldn't do that. And then get mad at the kindergartners who are like, "Wah, I want my Rice Krispie treats. I'm bored. I need a nap." And you'd be like, "You ignorant children! Listen, I'm trying to teach you calculus." No, that'd be ridiculous, right? So if you're dealing with spiritual children, you can't expect them to learn spiritual calculus. Just don't even try. Which brings me back full circle. Gotta know who you're dealing with. Suss people out from the jump. All right? Test them without them knowing it. All right? Drop your key questions and just do it in a casual way so they don't even realize they're being vetted right now. And that is my best advice. And eventually, you will find people who resonate with you. Like I was saying, I used to set up at the Turtle Bay here doing a business, tarot card readings, holistic healing, all that. And I made a few great friends who are, you know, very spiritual or woke in their own way that I would have never even met otherwise if I didn't put myself out there. So if you really want to find like-minded people, you have to put yourself out there. You can't just stay in a bubble, right? You can't just stay in a bubble. It's not going to work. You're just going to keep on beating your head against the same spiritual brick wall that is just frustrating, and you're trying to make all the fish around you into birds. You're yelling at all the spiritual kindergartners like, just leave the kindergarten classroom and just go on your journey. Just keep on walking until you find the spiritual calculus class. That's what you have to do. There's your solution. All right. This was an answer to this video is an answer to a question I received in a comment on one of my recent videos. So you guys can give me my video ideas. Don't be afraid. Drop a comment. Let me know what you want to hear me speak on. And Dragon will bring that fire for you. All right. I'm going to implement this now. This is a new thing I'm doing. I now increase my sexy meter and the sexy meter of my audience. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stronger, stronger, stronger. Stronger, stronger, and stronger. Feeling sexy? Good. Now go find your tribe. If you believe in me, I believe in you. And I'll command my spirit to take all the thoughts in my head, drop them into my heart, and make me totally real on the Creation Lightship New World timeline where this video goes viral. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Appreciate you. Peace and stay sexy.